The energy that creates amazing success in your career, in your business, is not the same energy that creates success in your love life. All these tactics that are out there that people are telling you that's what you need to do to be a femme fatale and all that. No. If you want to create a relationship where you are cherished and accepted and deeply loved, you get to learn how to attract a relationship with a man who is a match for what you desire. The missing link for the highly driven, high achieving, successful woman when it comes to love is this. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Love Chat with the Love Twins. It's Michelle here, and I am so excited to be here with you today. I feel like I haven't been with you for a while, and today's message is going to be fire, all right? Because today we're diving into something that's truly missing. It's a missing link for high achieving, successful women when it comes to love, and it's not always obvious. And so today we're going to dive into this, all right? So the missing link for the highly driven, high achieving, successful woman when it comes to love is this. You get to stop doing so you can start attracting. And I'm going to go into that so you know what I mean by that. So first of all, if you're here, please type hi in the chat so I know that you're here, so I know that you're with me. I can't see how many people are on Facebook, but I know that you're out there. And this stop doing and start attracting, it's counterintuitive for those of us who are high achieving women. Hello there. Hi, let me see who's this. Hold on. Judith, hello. All right. So it's really important for you. If you're a highly driven woman and you desire to be deeply loved, it's going to be important for you to be able to know how to master channeling your feminine energy so that you can become the woman that love can't help but find and flow towards. So if you want to be a woman who love can find, and what do we mean by that? If you're not accessible for it, it's not attractable to you. And a lot of women don't realize that some of the things that we do that we think are the things we're supposed to be doing because it's what we've learned, it's because it's what's been successful for us in business, is what's going to have us have success in love. And that's just absolutely not the case. It really is not. It's counterintuitive, like I said before. So let me know if this resonates with you. Hi, Valley. Hi, Lisa. Let me know if this resonates with you, okay? You can let me know in the comments. You're driven and you get it done. Like you're a woman who's driven, you get it done. You're a woman people rely on at work, at home, everywhere you are, your family, your friends, they depend on you. They rely on you and you want love. And then it's like, why do I always feel like I'm the one leading? I'm the one planning. I'm the one moving things forward. If that resonates with you, type me in the chat so that I know that you're connecting with what we're talking about, because when you're in it, it's so hard to see it sometimes. But if you feel like that, and we're not talking about putting yourself in a victim mentality, just acknowledging that a lot of the time you feel like you're the one that is driving. You're the one pushing things forward. You're the ones making things happen. You're in that energy a lot of the time. Yeah, so Judith says, yep, right? Okay, so here's what I want you to know, my loves. The energy that creates amazing success in your career, in your business, is not the same energy that creates success in your love life. They are two different energies. Same person holding two different energies. So your go get it, let's make things happen, lead the way is your masculine energy. And that really serves you well in your business, in your career, when you're leading teams, when you're leading people, when you're on top of an initiative that gets to be executed. That masculine energy, it's part of us and we don't need to make it wrong. It's just very beneficial there in business and career, at work. When it comes to love, however, attracting a man who's ready to show up, a man who's ready to lead, to commit, and to love you deeply, that masculine energy is going to repel the very thing you're longing for. It's just not attractive to masculine men. It might be attractive at work. They might like having you on the team. You might be somebody who fits in with the group, But when it comes to love, that same energy that has you experience tremendous success at work is going to work against you in your love life. So, what does draw a high quality masculine man to you? Well, it's not going to be your resume. It's not going to be that. It's not going to be all of your achievement and accolades. It's not going to be how many hours you work and put in. It's not going to be how busy your calendar is. Not going to be that either. It's not going to be your hustle. That is not what's going to attract a high quality masculine man. What attracts a high quality masculine man is your presence, being present in your body, being here, being receptive. Your receptivity is very attractive to a high quality masculine man. He wants to know that he has something he can provide. And if you're covering all the bases, then he can't step up. You're blocking. That masculine energy blocks a good man's natural tendency to want to provide, to protect, to please you. You got it all handled. Nothing wrong with that. Just give him some space to be the man. Stop competing for the role of the man in your dating life and in your relationships. You have to take a step back, but not down, just back, to make room for him to step up. So your presence, your receptivity, and your feminine energy, what we call your irresistible essence, that is what attracts a high quality masculine man. Now, here is the good news. You ready for some good news? If that's not good news, here's some good news. Your feminine energy isn't about taking a step down. It's not about being passive, and it's absolutely not about being fake. Nothing that we teach is about that. Your feminine energy is about being powerful, just in a different way. There's a lot of power in your feminine energy. So let's break it down to the basics. Your feminine energy is your being, who you're being. Your masculine energy is what you're doing. Okay, feminine energy is who you're being. Masculine energy is what you're doing. So most of us, especially powerful women, we've been taught to do more in life. And what that translates to, until we learn how to love this way and show up this way, is that we think we have to do more to get love, to get somebody to love us, to get somebody to step up, to get, you know how many times people say, how do I get him to write to me? You're not going to get him to do anything. There's a way that you show up that naturally inspires that in a man, that just lights him up, and he can't help but do that, can't help but provide, can't help but want to be there for you, can't help to want to be around you. And it's not about strategy, and it's not about manipulation, and it's not about getting him to do something. It is his response to your feminine energy. And feminine energy isn't just the outside look, right? I can have my lip gloss on, I can have my hair done, I can have my nails done. That is not what I mean by feminine energy. That is feminine quality, like qualities, characteristics. It's not the energy. Because you can have all that and still be very masculine, and that's going to turn off the kind of man that you want to attract, the kind of man who wants to be a partner, not a man who wants to be managed. If you get frustrated with the guys that you date and you feel like they're waiting for you to take care of them, consider, without judging yourself, that there's a lot of masculine energy. And so what you're attracting is a more feminine energy man. And men and women have both in them. It's just which one do you want to draw out, and which one do you want to put out? Because what you put out is what you're going to draw in. All right. So a lot of us, especially if we're powerful, we're driven, we're successful, we're high achieving, we've been taught do more to get more. So be the first one to send the text. Be the first one to suggest the plans. Ask leading questions to get him to say something, or show interest but don't look available. Act like you're not available, and playing games. And when you play games, you know what you get? You get players. That's what you get when you play games. Or maybe it's like the harder you make it for him, the harder he'll love you, the more he'll love you. No, he'll get tired of it. If he's a high quality guy, he's going to get tired of it, because none of that works. You texting first, you pursuing him, you suggesting the plans, you taking the lead, you asking questions, trying to get an answer out of him or getting him to do something, you pretending that you're not available when what you want to be is available for love, or you try to make it hard for someone to love you. None of that works, and it's exhausting. How many of you are hearing me? If you're hearing me, type I hear you in the chat. Because I'll tell you, we have so many women who come to us that are amazing women. And one question that I find myself asking a lot is, why do you make it so hard for someone to love you, to show you that they love you? Why do you make that hard? All of that is a test. A test against what? A test against the limiting belief you have about yourself, that you think that if you make it hard and he stays, that means he loves you. Well, that's not necessarily true. Everybody who has a high value of themselves has a line that they draw. Everybody has a line that they draw. If they have if they value themselves. If they don't, they'll put up and tolerate. Is that what you really want? I don't think so. Okay, a lot of you are saying, I hear you, I hear you, I hear you. Awesome. I'm glad you're hearing me. Listen, if you have a friend that you know that it would make a difference for her to bring out more of that feminine, because maybe she complains that guys aren't stepping up, or all the guys that she's attracting want her to take care of them, like, send her the link to this love chat. Let's, really share the love here, because this is something like we don't realize we're doing it. I didn't realize I was doing it. I thought I was just being confident. No, I was being confident on top of being afraid that if I didn't make the first move, he never would. And so I was the one approaching, and I was the one pursuing, and I was the one sending the morning text, and I was the one not saying thank you really deeply on the date. So I had a reason and an excuse to send it the next morning, instead of when I shifted things around and I started stepping more into my feminine. There is such a difference between sending a text so that someone responds and somebody reaching out to you without you having to do anything. Yes or no? There's a huge difference in that. There's a huge difference in that. So all this stuff all these tactics that are out there that people are telling you that's what you need to do to be a femme fatale and all that. No. A guy who responds to that is either somebody who wants you to take the lead, or is somebody who's going to try and break that in you. And neither one of those two options sound attractive to me. And it doesn't sound like what I've heard a lot of women want. Nobody wants to be broken into. Yes or no? All right. Okay. So it's exhausting playing that game. So if you're tired all the time, consider some of this is going on. Okay. And if you can look at it as important but not significant. What I mean by that is, don't make it mean everything about you. It's just something maybe you haven't paid attention to until this love chat. That's why you're here, to keep learning and growing and doing what's effective, so you can create some momentum behind the love life that you have and attracting the love that you want. That's why you're here. If you had all the answers, you'd be somewhere else. If I had all the answers, I'd be somewhere else. I'm here to share with you what I learned the hard way, so you get to learn it the easy way. So you don't have to make all the mistakes I made along the way. Plus all the knowledge that I've acquired over the years, focusing and having my life, and Gladys having her life, be all about making sure that every woman who walks the face of this earth gets to experience the love she desires in this lifetime, and have as much success in her love life as she's created in other areas in her life. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen on that? Okay. So we don't want to be exhausted anymore. You don't want to be exhausted anymore. So when you are doing all that pursuing, when you're doing all that strategic thinking, manipulation, and all of that, what that does is it puts you in the position of the driver. It puts you in the position of the pursuer. In other words, it puts you at a very high level of masculine energy. So when you're in that high level of masculine energy, that's going to repel masculine energy. When you're in a high level of feminine energy, it's going to attract masculine energy. I see a lot of amens in the chat. Awesome. Okay, so when you're in the pursuer role, the driver, the hunter, the one that's getting it done in your love life, you're in masculine energy. However, here's what feminine energy shows up as: confident, radiant, receptive, attractive. That kind of energy naturally attracts a high quality man who's looking for a feminine, high quality woman. And you get to attract without chasing and without controlling. You have more energy to attract what you want rather than expending energy on things that don't work and things that lead to heartache and disappointment and have you thinking that there's something wrong with you, or there's something wrong with men, or there's something wrong with the science, or there's something wrong with the world. Like everything's wrong. You get to shift your perspective. You get to shift into your feminine energy and have that be what's driving you when you're out of the workplace. So that feminine embodiment of confidence and radiance and attractiveness and receptivity, it's a quiet confidence. It doesn't have to be standing on the table. It doesn't have to be shouting it out and posting it on social media. It's a quiet confidence that says, I'm already enough. I don't need to perform to be loved. I'm going to say that again. You're already enough. And you don't need to perform to be loved. So a woman who's in that irresistible feminine energy knows she is a prize. She's not auditioning for anybody. She's observing. She's observing how she feels on a date versus wondering what he's thinking about her. Such a shift in perspective. That irresistible feminine woman, she magnetizes attraction. She doesn't pursue it. She doesn't chase it. And she attracts it easily because she makes it so easy to like her and eventually love her. One of the things that the guys who come, the boyfriends and the husbands of the women who have gone through our programs, who have been able to create love, the majority of them within 3 to 9 months have met him and are in the relationship of their dreams within 3 to 9 months after years and years, sometimes decades of not being successful in love. They're able to create that. Why? Because they are accessible. They are radiating feminine energy. They are receptive. And they're not trying to do anything or get anything out of a man. And one of the things that we hear over and over again is she made it so easy. She stood out. She was just different. There was something about her. This is what it is. This is what we're talking about. And in our work, it's feminine energy, and then there's the irresistible essence that comes through on that. Certain characteristics that a woman possesses and embodies that men find irresistible. So you get to magnetize versus pursue. So let me know in the comments, is this resonating with you? Or if this is resonating with you, type attract in the chat. Like you're getting that attracting love, radiating that feminine energy is where you want to be at versus this pursuing, struggling, strategizing, all of that stuff that is just it's tiring, it's exhausting. Let me see, somebody put, hold on. Let's see what you ladies are writing. So until now, my beingness was from protection versus femininity. I'm giving that up. Awesome. Great. That's beautiful. No wonder I've been feeling exhausted until now. Absolutely. If you're constantly in that doing energy, which has probably had you experience a lot of success, if you don't know how to transition out of it, you're going to get stuck in it. And then, and let me tell you, sometimes it's very subtle. It's very subtle. Today I was coaching somebody who asked her partner a question and she's like, don't you agree? I'm like, that asking him, don't you agree? Why he responded the way he did is because he felt like you were trying to get him to say something versus just saying, this is what I think. What do you think? It's very subtle, and knowing how to communicate this way is really important. Let's see. Okay, so you all are putting attract. Awesome. So let me build on this a little bit more, and then I'm going to share something really special that's coming up for you. So as high achieving women, which I'm talking to all of you, we're trained to think through decisions. That's the masculine energy. Doesn't mean that we're not using our brains when we're in feminine energy. It's just that the masculine is more about processing, problem solving. So pros and cons, logistics, strategies, that's what we're used to at work. That's what we need to do to be successful. But in love, dating, and relationships, your most powerful compass is actually already inside of you. It's already in you how to get there, how to get to that extraordinary love. Because your feminine energy is going to spark your intuition. And your intuition can guide you when you're outside of fear and outside of control. Because fear, what that does is it perpetuates the need to control. So when you're, think about it, when you're trying to control things, it's because you're afraid you're either something is going to happen or not going to happen. You're either going to produce a result or you're not going to produce a result. So the more fear shows up in you, the more control. So if you're nervous on a date, you could start to control the conversation. You can control how the plans are. You can control, how the situation is coming up versus allowing and receiving. Your intuition can't kick in when you're fear driven and control driven, because it shows up when there is harmony between your mind, your body, your heart. When there's harmony there, in other words, congruence, alignment, coherence, now your intuition can step up. Now your intuition can shine. Now your intuition can guide you. The thing is that most women have learned to override what their heart desires or what they're feeling to make it work with a man who isn't aligned, because they don't want to miss out. They don't want to lose the opportunity. It's been so long since I felt this way. And so what you start to do is you start to let what you know is telling you this doesn't feel like a match, you put it to the side and you make up an excuse, a reason, or you ignore it. And that's why some of you think your intuition is broken, but it's not. You've just been overriding it. Either fear or control have been overriding it. So here's something to consider, that shutting down or minimizing your heart's desire, shrinking back to make someone else happy or to make them feel important or to even make them love you, isn't love. That's control, and it's desperation in disguise. So being in your feminine and being connected, mind, body, heart, this is what it would sound like if you were listening to that. When I'm around him, do I feel like my energy expands, or do I feel depleted and exhausted? Do I feel safe within myself and relaxed? Do I feel seen, acknowledged? Or do I feel like I have to, like I'm being criticized or teased and I have to like kind of fend that off? Do I feel like I have to be a certain way, or there's some kind of comment that's made about that? You want to listen to that. But you're not looking to see what he's doing wrong. You're just feeling into your heart. You're letting your body tell you, and you're listening with your mind as well. Another way that could show up is, am I trying to prove something or earn something or make something happen? Or am I actually in a state of relaxation and receptivity? When you trust yourself, then you can trust your intuition. You stop and you trust yourself. You stop entertaining what and who are not a match for you, so that you conserve your energy for attracting what and who are a match for you. I'm going to say that again. When you trust yourself, because you're honoring your desires, you're honoring your values, you're honoring who you are, you get that you're more than enough already, you stop entertaining what and who isn't a match for you. You stop entertaining that. You stop spending time on that. You stop spending energy on that. You stop creating heartbreak around that. And you conserve and focus your energy on who and what is a match for you. And that's where the ease and the fun and the fulfillment comes in, which is what we teach in our programs in the dating fundamentals. It gets to be fun, easy, and fulfilling. So here's what I really want you to take in today. If you want to create a relationship where you are cherished and accepted and deeply loved, you've got to learn to shift from performance to presence, from proving to receiving, from doing to being. You get to create that shift inside of you, because you're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. And you don't need to play down your success to have somebody else feel better about themselves. You don't have to play small so somebody else feels big. You get to be big and receptive. You get to be a leader and also know when it's time to allow someone else to lead and receive. So you get to align your love energy with what you desire to receive. So those two get to be aligned. And you get to learn how to attract a relationship with a man who is a match for what you desire and that love energy that you want to receive. I'm going to close with this. You don't have to figure it out on your own. You don't have to do it all on your own. That's what makes it hard. That's what makes it scary. That's what'll make you do nothing because you don't know what to do or what you've done hasn't worked. So you don't have to figure it out all out on your own. You get to be guided, you get to be supported, and you get to feel empowered and be empowered in your love life. And until our hearts meet again, always remember that you are loved. Goodbye for now. See you next week.